Hi, this is the first part of the mastermind on Leadership Gold, where we help people get from where they are in leadership now to the next level of leadership. And John Maxwell says there's a leadership lid, so the growth of your company can only go as high as your leadership level is. And your ability to motivate, influence, and engage the people around you limits what you can do with those people around you. And the first thing that I want to talk about is something that we're taught a lot about when we first get into management. And that is that professional distance, right? We need to keep a professional distance. As in, the lack of connection between you and me somehow makes me a better leader. That logic just doesn't hold up. Who do you aspire to be? Who do you want to follow? And do you believe that you should not like that person? It's a really simple thing, but we brought this into management and kind of kept it going, that we need to keep a professional distance. We can't get too close to those that we lead. Oh, you might have to fire them. Your emotions might get involved for some reason, and then you won't make the right decision. And that's a part of what gets us to that idea that we need to keep that distance. What I've experienced and what I've seen is that the more distant the leader, the more aloof he is, and the less people are following him. And what does that look like when you have a leader that nobody follows? Everybody shows up to work, does their own thing, kind of ignores the guy. He gets mad, yells and screams. Everybody's kind of, oh yeah, it's just the way he is. See, it's not the distance that makes a great leader. It's being able to truly manage that connection that really makes a great leader. So when you're in a leadership position, you're not trying to create this distance. You're not trying to stay as far away as you can from those who you lead. You're trying to establish a connection with them. If you look at some great leaders and some magnificent teams that we have in the military, what do they say? We're like brothers. That's what they say. They lead and they follow and they hold people accountable and they do their jobs. And we're like brothers. It's a brotherhood. And that's really where that sweet spot in leadership lies. You have to have that connection with the people around you to be able to do significant things in leadership. You cannot influence people who don't like you. That's just the way that works. So it's only lonely at the top if you didn't really know how to get there. And that's what we do in what we call positional leadership. And what that is I've got a title. I'm a manager, I'm a director, I'm a vice president, I'm whatever I got because of some level of competency that I personally have. And now I believe that somehow makes me a leader. At best, you're a manager because of the title, at best. Because see, a title doesn't make a leader. People will follow people regardless of title. Many of revolution has been started by people with no titles. It's that connection, it's that mutual belief, that mutual vision, that mutual goal that gelled them together. I am like you, so you can like me. I have a vision, and it's something you enjoy and you want to follow. And you believe that I can get you there. And that is the core basis, one of the first foundational principles of leadership. You must understand this point. Because if you don't, you're going to always have teams underperforming. If you can't influence them and you don't have a connection with them, then you can't help them grow. See, and leaders, they're not just people who watch over other people. See, you're a real leader when you create leaders from those who follow. In other words, you're investing time in those people. Say that again, you're investing time in those people. So if you look at the people around you that work for you, what do you know about their goals inside that organization? What do they want out of this job? What do they want out of working for this company? Think about each and every one of the people who work with you or for you and see if you can answer that question. See, it's really important to know the goals of those people. Because how do you align the objectives and goals of the company if you don't know the goals of the people who actually execute to be able to get to the objectives of the company? How can you align those two if you don't know what one of the main factors is? So a good thing to start off with is understanding, well, what are the goals of those that are around me? And evaluate your relationship with your team. Think about how good or bad of a relationship you have with them. And think about the causes of it. Is it a factual cause? Do you not like this person because they are a really bad person? And then reflect on how you treat them. And see what impact the way that you interact with them might have on the way that they are interacting with you. So we often forget that we kind of give and then we get what we give. See, if I interact with somebody poorly, if I just meet you on the street and instead of smiling and saying, "Hi, how you doing?" I bump into you and go, "Hey." And that's my way of treating you. Or every time you come, I just kind of look at the floor and look away and try to cut off conversations. Or I talk all the time, don't ask you questions. I don't care to know anything about you. I just kind of treat you with a cold shoulder. Well, how do you think people will treat you back? See, it's a give and take. If you give that, you're going to get that back. It's kind of a reflection in the mirror. And a lot of times we establish that poor relationship that we have with those around us. Think of a time that somebody came up to you, treated you very poorly, and you thought, "Wow, what a great person. Let me treat them nice." And then you treated them wonderfully. Unless he had significant influence over your career, that probably never happened. See, if somebody walks up to you and treats you poorly, well, you treat them poorly back. So think about the team that's around you and your opinion of those people. And then really reflect on what could I do to change that dynamic between that person and me. Because see, I'm the leader. So I can't let this relationship be completely managed just by them. And I understand that I have an impact and influence in that relationship. Probably a larger impact in that, seeming that I'm the boss or the person with the title. And even if you're not, you still have a great impact on any relationship that you have. And think about, what could I do differently to have a better, more influential relationship with this person? So step one is understanding that the professional distance is not what you're looking for. You're looking for a brotherhood. You're looking for a family. You're looking for people who watch each other's back, who truly care about each other, so you can establish that influence. Step two is making sure you understand their goals. What do they want out of life? What do they want out of their work here? Do they want to be promoted? Do they like working where they work? Are they looking to move to another department? What are their goals? What are their objectives in their career? Because see, you can't line up their objectives with your objectives, because their objectives is 50% of what you're trying to do. And if you don't know that 50%, then how in the world are you going to align them? You just can't. So it's very important to understand what they want out of this, so you can align what they want and what the company wants and you want, and make everything go in the same direction. Get a vision and a goal that they can believe in. And when people believe in something, man, that makes a difference. And then the third thing that you want to do is evaluate the relationship you have with those around you and think about how you impact that relationship. What could I do to change the dynamic in this relationship? Not what could they do? Because remember, you're the leader. So what could I do to change the dynamic in this relationship? And if you think about that long enough, you'll figure out some things that you can do. And at first, trust me, they might look at you skeptical. If you haven't treated them well in the past and you start treating them well now, well, what are they going to do? They're going to think, what does he want? But after you do it consistently, and you show that you really care, and you show that you are trying to change the dynamic of that relationship, it will change. And see, that's the key. It's not because you pay them, it's not because they report to you, it's because you are going to become, step by step through this course, a true and real leader. And you'll understand the things that you have to do, me as a leader has to do, to be able to create the teams that we need to create to become successful as a company. And this applies to your company and it applies to your personal life too. Remember, leading starts with leading yourself. And that will be the next video that we'll talk about, is how to lead yourself first. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let us know. There's an email down in the course description. This I'll probably put on YouTube, so if you like the channel, press like, and it's probably going to be on Facebook. Give me a comment down and tell me what you thought about this, this mini lesson that we gave. And we will be launching in January 2019. We are launching our online university. And what we're going to have is 7 full leadership, self-leadership, and business leadership courses. And we'll be launching that in January. We're going to have a special discount. I think we're going to land at something about $50 a month. It's very, very cheap on the launch special price, and it's going to go up to $100. And you'll be able to take all 7 courses, and they'll all be online. And on top of that, we're going to have 4 calls a week, live calls. I'll be on at least one of them a week. And we'll have 4 live calls with 4 people who have leadership experience, who have business experience, and who are trained in this, so they can help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. So you get all the lessons, and you get live calls where we'll give a lesson and we'll open it up 30 minutes or maybe a little bit less depending on what we're talking about, just so you can ask any questions you have. And as you're leading this and as you're learning and applying it to your life, we'll help you get slowly to where you need to go. Thank you for watching.